Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, this is the Wayne S. Pierce Show podcast. How are ya? It's Tuesday, the 1st of April. I officially boycott April Fool's Day. You can kiss my butt. I don't care. I mean, I don't know. I just don't like the day. Okay, it's not going to be, I just don't like the day, Have you ever had one of those days where you wake up and you're going, the day sucks? That would be today. The April 1st frenzy of people going out and pranking one another for what? You know what I mean? Why? Why are people doing this? Why is it important that you play tricks on people? Okay? I don't see any reason for it. Email me, freeamericaradio@usa.com. freeamericaradio@usa.com. Lots of things going on today. Lots of things, it's one of them days. You can go to the Wayne S. Pierce Show Facebook page for more information. You can also, if you're listening to this on the website at the WayneSPierceShow.weebly.com site, please cruise around the site there and let me know what you think. And, what can I say? Today is April Fool's. Today is April 1st. We got 14 more days before you people have to jam the parking lots and stuff for sending in your taxes to the fraudulent government that we have. What else? What else do you want to know about our government? Hey, I wanted to talk about something that's near and dear to my heart, and another fraudulent. Speaking of fraud, I want to talk about school loans. Every single school loan that you have ever taken out is a complete and total fraud. Why? Because it's given to you on a false pretense of you gaining the job that you're going, the career, I would say, that you're going to school for. Now, I know that some people have paid off their school loans from many, many years ago. And I know that some people are going or have school loans now or are getting school loans. Let me clarify something for you. All of it is a fraud. All of it. Every last bit of it. It's all a fraud. Why? Because they really deceive you into thinking that you can't get through school without taking their money to go through school. And they use the propaganda of, we'll pay for it. They use all that kind of crap. They give you all kinds of deceitful ways of letting you know that you can, go to school on the government dime or whatever, And then you go to school for 2 or 4 years and you never get the job or the career that you wanted. And you've got all this money that you got to pay back. And if you are fortunate enough to get the job or the career that you wanted, after school, fine, I applaud you for that. But you've got this massive amount of school loans to pay off. Okay? Some people get them paid off. I applaud you for that too. But let me tell you, the vast amount of people that go to college after high school, by the time they're 30, they are in debt close to the tune of about $60,000 to $80,000. And just on the school loans alone, if you go to a prestigious, Yale or whatever, you're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars. Okay, that's why there's these people called professional students. They just continue to get money from the government to live and to go to school and to learn. Well, when are you graduating? I've got this and this. So there's all that. I think they put a stop to that because they knew that people were just not, they're just living off of the money that the government gives them. They're not going to school. But anyway, all school loans are a fraud. Every single last one of them. look at it this way. The government gives you money to go to school for 2 to 4 years. You get out to try to get a career in the field that you went to, college for. It's not there because of the economy. And then what you went to college for is not a job that is the most important or the most popular or the most productive or the most profitable. And therefore, you're stuck with these loans. They sucker you into getting these loans, and then they fraudulently present the information to you, and then they commit fraud against you, and then you can't do anything to pay off the loans that they gave you fraudulently to begin with, and then they come after you, your taxes, your home, liens on cars, whatever. You can't get a house if you have an outstanding school loan. Now, excuse me, now they have, within the last several years I've seen, they have this forgiveness, discharge, whatever. I know people who have school loans that are well over 30 years old that they can't get discharged on bankruptcy. That's where all the bankruptcy laws need to change. Okay? If you file bankruptcy, that means everything that you cannot pay or are unable to pay needs to get discharged, including school loans. Okay? Including school loans. And, if you can do it with doctor bills, why not school loans? You know what I mean? I know people who have taken or gotten attorneys, pro bono or contingent basis, filed lawsuits against their schools and blah, blah, blah. You did this, you did that. And they won on rare occasions, but they won and they've gotten all that written off. And, but still, why are you taking money from the government to go to school? It's a fraud. It's a massive, massive, massive fraud. And the school loan debt bubble is about ready to burst. Guess who else is going to be getting bailed out other than the car companies and the banks in 2008? Guess who's going to be getting bailed out with your tax money? That's right, Department of Education, which needs to go away, and all these schools, and all the banks that give these loans out to these schools, to you and your students, blah, blah, blah. It's all a massive fraud, okay? It's all a massive fraud, all of it. You want to go to school? Remember how your mom and dad went to school? Remember how your grandparents went to school? They saved up the money. They worked. Yes, they worked. Hell, I was, years ago when I was living in Stockton, California, I was going to a program at one of the city, county-funded schools there, and it was, free to anybody that lived in the county. That was one of the places that you can go to. There's many all over Stockton, but that was just one of the places. And so I was going there, but I was also working, and I was also paying my way because you had to, buy the books and stuff. It just wasn't, you didn't have to pay tuition or anything like that, but you had to get the books, and that was costing some money. So I had to work and do all that. Why can't anybody do that? Well, if you can work part-time in the mornings and go to school in the afternoons or the evenings, why not? Why not? Well, I know why, and I've talked to people, and I've seen it. Anyone between the ages of 18 and 24, 25, 26 want to have time for themselves. I get it. They want to go to parties. They want to have fun. They want to, look good in front of their friends. They want to go out and get a boyfriend, a girlfriend, whatever. I understand that. And you can't do it if you're working all the time and going to school. Yeah, you can. It's called time management. That's a whole different story when you go to school as well. But school loans are a fraud. All of them. School loans are a fraud. Anyone that hears this, if it gets to somebody and some lawyer is going to say, well, you got to prove that. I think the government itself just proved it for themselves when they said that the student loan debt bubble is about ready to burst. Hello. Connect the dots there, Mr. Attorney, because you obviously have school loans yourself, So, I mean, it's like, it's all a fraud. It's all a fraud. Your National Education Administration was set up to regulate specifically in one area, or I shouldn't say specifically. I'm going to generalize here. The National Education Administration was set up to get Christianity out of schools, period. End of sentence. Go, and that's just one of the I don't know, what do they call that? The objectives. The objectives of the National Education Administration was in one area to get Christianity out of schools. And there's many other reasons why the National Education Administration was set up. But now look at it this way. Because the school districts are suffering because there's not the tax base to fund them, your middle schools, your junior high schools, your elementary schools are now asking the parents to pay a tuition. This has been going on in the private school sector for a long, long time. The church-based private schools that you used to send your kids to. I mean, think about it. Then you have this crap called Common Core. Don't get me started on that one. But all school loans in colleges everywhere is a massive, 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 massive fraud. All of it to do one thing, to put you into perpetual debt so they can use fear and intimidation to take things from you, period. That's just one aspect of it. There's other countries, and I forget the name of the country. I just saw it the other day, and I forgot the name of it, but they pay you to go to school. They don't pay you to pay the school. They pay you to go to school. Okay? And some schools, some colleges in other countries are free. Okay? Now, taxpayers are paying for it. Well, no, they're not. The school is open for the students, and somewhere down the line, they work things out. And guess what? The taxes in those areas might be a little bit higher than it is in the U.S., but at least the students are not in debt. So I believe that when they talk about free education in America, that should be free, all of it. You want to go to college for 2 years after you get out of high school? It's your choice, of course. Okay, go ahead. Well, somebody's got to keep the lights on in the college, in the community college, and some of these teachers have to get paid and blah, blah, blah. Don't you think that's the state's responsibility? And if that's the case, then the schools should operate like a business. Period. Which means get rid of the National Education Administration. Okay? There you go. Now, there's controversy on that as well. I've heard both sides of that argument. Well, schools should be private, all of them, and it should be free and nobody should be paying, and they should just, well, who's going to pay the books? Who's going to pay for the books? Who's going to pay to keep the lights on? Yeah, I've heard both sides of the argument. Doesn't make any sense to me why people can't go to school for free. But somebody's got to figure it out because other countries seem to be doing it quite well, but we're the only ones that look. We're the only ones in the world who are using the education system as a profitable business for the banks, for the loan companies, for the collection agencies, for everybody else. And there you go, folks. Your debt that you put your child into when they go to college or that you're into while you're in college is profitable for everybody else except for you. That's why I say it's a fraud. All school loans are a fraud, every single last one of them. And if you want to accuse me of just spouting it off without having anything to back it up, oh, believe me. You can check this stuff out yourself. Just put in startpage.com, put in the search engine there, school loan fraud. School loans are fraud. School loans forgiveness. You can look it up yourself. Do I have information to back it up? Yes, I have a school loan. That's how I know it's a fraud. Because I've investigated my own school loan. It's a fraud, folks. So I should know. So anyway. I'll be back right after this. This is Reverend Wayne S. Pierce from the Views Expressed. Come join me Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern on Spreaker.com. Hello, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on this planet we call Earth. Whatever dimension you feel you're in, hello. I wanted to give you that. Hey, I just heard someone say this morning on the 1st of April, 2014, I heard a repeat or an encore of a show. And the person on that show said that the Holocaust in Nazi Germany was a complete and total fraud. Okay? I know what I've learned, but I also know what I've learned beyond that. I know what people have told me, and I know the people, I know people from Stockton, California, where I grew up, who were in Germany at the time. They're old enough, or they're probably past by now. This is quite a few years ago. My aunt is a full-blooded German. My uncle, who's an American, was in the Army, married her, brought her over here, you know, that kind of thing. She was a little girl in Germany. I know a lot of older, 80 or 90-year-old, German people in Stockton and San Francisco and Tracy and Sacramento that have told me that they were there, and it was really scary for them as kids. They didn't know what was going on. Their parents, they heard the air raid sirens and went down to the bunkers, went down to the underneath their homes that they had. Basically townhomes, like we know, townhouses, that kind of thing. I know what history tells us. I know what the detractors have said about the Holocaust. I know what Ahmadinejad, the former president of Iran, had said. I don't know what to believe anymore, folks. I talked before the break about school loans being a fraud. Well, what about our history? Is our history a fraud? Is our history made up by the Illuminati? Is our history that we have been taught bogus? I don't know. I do know that the information that I have received and that you can look up yourself is that the OSS, which is now the CIA and the British military, set up Hitler in power, set up a lot of other leaders of that time in power because they wanted them to be an offshoot of this, what was deemed later on, decades later as a new world order. And in 1961, 61 it was, General Eisenhower, President Eisenhower said, be aware, we've got a military-industrial complex that you have to be basically aware of, and this is what's happening. So connecting the dots, and of course, when you do that, you're, connecting, following the money trail, you're going to find out that the history that you were taught in high school and in elementary school and junior high and middle school, it's a fraud, folks. They perpetrated the biggest fraud in history upon you to make you believe that things were the way they were according to their own revisionist history. And if you go back prior to 1960, prior to I think it's 1955 or 1953, and you look at the actual documents and you go and you look at the actual history of the people that were there and you talk to the people that were there, you'll find out pretty darn quick. Because here, and I say that because I'm gonna dovetail that into my next subject, which is the things that people post on Facebook. There was a big, there was a picture and a meme and this not a quote. I don't want to say that. It was a meme. It was a meme, and it talked about how Michigan is the first state to implement Sharia law. Well, I know someone, I got family in Michigan and I got friends in Michigan that email me and tell me what's true and what's not. Well, this one person emailed me, told me on the post, this is not true. Okay? So all the stuff that you see posted, all this, the forums that you go to, all of this, there's so much disinformation out there that it makes you wonder what is true and what's not. And this is where, now get this, this is where doubt is put into your mind. And this is why you must question everything that you hear or see, even what I say and show you. The only thing that you're going to believe is the thing that you see yourself. You're going to go and research this stuff out yourself. You're going to see it for yourself. That's all you're going to believe. You're not going to believe anybody else because you want to find it out yourself. That's what I've done for the last 30 some odd years. I got tired of people telling me, well, yeah, that's just the way it is. No, it's not. And I know it. Intuitively inside me, that gut feeling is telling me that person's full of crap. I got to go check this out. That's why I tell people on the views expressed and on this show, if I'm wrong, let me know. If I'm wrong, let me know. Okay? If I've overlooked something, let me know. Just don't sit there and say, oh, you're wrong, and then walk away. You're going to tell me I'm wrong. You better show me why you think I'm wrong. You better prove yourself right because, hey, I got to do the same thing for myself. If I hear something, I'm going to have to prove to myself that it's either not true or is true, right? Stands to reason that people should do that. But anyway, I feel that there are, there's so much stuff that we have to be aware of. And we have to be aware of these posts that you see on Facebook. Even the stuff that I post on my site at The Wayne S. Pierce Show on Facebook or Free America Radio on Facebook. I want you people to question all of that. And like my friend did, hey, this is what, is not true about that statement about Sharia law being, implemented in the state of Michigan. There was another picture that I put up about the new Detroit Michigan police chief coming in and saying, okay, the citizens here are going to protect themselves and that's just the way it's going to be. Not his words, but I mean, that's because there's been multiple, shootings in Detroit where homeowners, houses are broke into, the homeowners just pull their gun and shoot the person and kill them right there. I mean, they're going to defend themselves, and crime rate in Detroit has gone down because of that. Well, the same friend that sent me, this word about Sharia law not being implemented in Michigan posted on that particular post of mine and said, yes, this is true. And I went, okay, cool. So that's why I say if I overlook something or if you think I'm wrong, prove yourself right and then share that with me. Please, because, hey, I want to be as factual as I can be. Okay? So, Free America Radio at USA.com. Free America Radio at USA.com. You can go to the website, thewaynespearceshow.weebly.com. And check out what's over there. I don't write. I should write more blogs on that site, but I don't. I will though. The WayneSPearceshow.weebly.com site, and again, Free America Radio at USA.com. is the email, and I shall return right after this. Eastland Radio Repertory Theater is looking for you. Are you a voice actor? Do you want to hone your abilities? Please send your audition clips to Eastland Radio Theater at USA.com. We are currently looking for voice actors to fill certain character roles in an ongoing radio play in development. Please send your audition clips to Eastland Radio Theater at USA.com. Hey folks, welcome back. Thank you for joining me on this Wayne S. Pierce Show podcast. I'm usually live Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 12 noon Pacific, 3 Eastern, but every so often I got more to say, so I just put up a podcast. There you go. It's going to be a short one today. I usually do an hour. I might stretch it a little bit for the next 10 or 15 minutes, but I want all of you to know that it's with what I've talked about in the first segment and the second segment. I got to tell you, I mean, it's very hard to believe anything anymore. Our government is completely and totally lying to us in every fashion, way, shape, or form that you can think of. The people around us are lying to us, our government officials. I mean by that, not your friends or family. Hopefully they're not lying to you. But your city councils, your county board of supervisors, the people around you are completely and totally, pardon my verbiage here, but people around you are very bumfuzzled by the bullcrap coming out of Washington, D.C., and so they're not being told the truth either. So they're going to look at you and go, well, and they're going to try to, say whatever it is they say when they don't even know what they're talking about. But my point is, you have got to do your own homework. It's imperative for you to do that. And it's important only because of the fact that the truth that you seek is only what you'll find, not what I give you, because I found it. Here it is. I'm giving you a guide. It's kind of like a book, You ever been to, got a map and saying, well, I need to go here, here, and here. Well, let's go and, so you follow that. I'm just giving you a map. You're the one that's going to have to take the trip. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I tell people all the time, if I've overlooked something or if I'm wrong in something, please let me know. I'm okay with that, So, but we all have to pay attention. We all have to do what we have to do and be diligent at seeking out the right and correct and most accurate information that we can find. But then again, the information that you start to research, where you go down that rabbit hole, who knows? Who knows what is true and false anymore? Who does? And when you get rid of all the preconceived ideas, number one, that's where you start. And number two, you'll start finding things you never imagined could exist. Okay? And that's what I've done many years ago. I got rid of all the information in my head that other people were giving me that was just a bunch of false bull crap that they wanted to feed me. And I just went from there. I said, no, I'm not going to believe anything anybody ever says anymore unless I search it out myself and find the information that I believe is most accurate and factual for me. Okay? If I share that with anybody, here's what I've got. Please go do your own research. I had a friend of mine that says that she, that she reads everything I put up on Facebook. And I'm like, really? Seriously? People don't have to agree with me. I mean, I don't agree with everything that everybody says. I don't agree with everything that Glenn Beck or Alex Jones or Pete Santilli says. But I know that within their realm, they will find the most accurate and truthful information that they are capable of finding because that's what they do. And if they overlook something or if they are wrong on something, I've heard them say that they will admit they're wrong. And I don't mind that. I myself personally don't mind if people say I'm wrong. It's when they have an attitude with me. Oh, you're wrong. Ah, you're one of those. Really? Can you prove that I am wrong? Can you prove yourself right? Can you take the information I have and, dig through it and sift through it and find why I'm wrong in this? And you know what I get in return? Here's what I get in return. I don't have to prove anything to anybody. Well, that is the most stupidest thing I have ever heard anyone ever say. I don't have to prove anything to anybody. Yeah, you do. You have to prove it to yourself. And then they get all pissed off and walk away. Which I don't care because I don't, spend 5 minutes in the same room with idiots like that. I really don't. Honestly. Now, what really has driven this whole situation in the world today has been information, and we are in the information age. And as far as I am concerned, the information that is out there is not only there's a lot that is omitted from the information out there. That's why there's a lot of misinformation out there. So you have to fill in the blanks and what is missing. And that's why I say you got to do your own research. And, excuse me. And I have more respect for people who come to me and say, I disagree with you because of this, and they show me. I would do that to other people too. So take the information that you have and dig a little more. I'm guilty of looking at a headline and going, really? And then reading it and going, well, that doesn't match what the headline says. And stuff like that. Or I look at different sources. If there's sources within that article that I'm reading, I look at those sources and I look at the credibility of where they get this information. So anyway, enough about that. I'm sure you know how to do your own research to find your own accurate and factual information for you. So anyway, hey folks, like I said, it was going to be short and sweet. Well, it's almost an hour anyway. So I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go away now. I want you to come join me on the Views Express live at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern on freeamericaradio.us or on Spreaker.com. We are also broadcasting on wakingupthemasses.com. And we are also broadcasting on 1610 AM micro broadcasting throughout the Chickamauga, Georgia area. So thank you, Bob Brutus over at Waking Up the Masses. You might want to go check out Bob Brutus's show too, Kicking the Capstone. Awesome show. You also might want to check out Brian Lang on Live Truth Radio, also broadcasted on wakingupthemasses.com. And, yeah, lots of other stuff as well. Go check out Nick Tucker, Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker on Facebook, distortedreality.podbean.com, and check that out as well. Awesome show there. And, folks, you can email me, freeamericaradio@usa.com, freeamericaradio@usa.com. The website is thewaynespearceshow.weebly.com. Check that out as well. Hey, thank you, folks. Enjoy the rest of your April 1st, April Fool's Day. Don't prank somebody too much because, you never know what's going to happen. So anyway, I boycott it. I don't like it. So, hey, have a great day, folks. Enjoy your Tuesday. And hug somebody, will you? Talk to you people later. Have fun.